did I forget to mention that we have comparison word problems? What's up guys, it's your 4th grade math teacher, Mr. Johnson, aka Mr. J, and we're back at it again with another YouTube video. I hope everyone is doing fine, washing their hands, staying healthy as we enter week 5 of remote learning. I know it's getting a bit challenging to keep that drive to learn while being at home. I mean, it's getting harder and harder to get out of bed on time despite having an alarm clock. I mean, that snooze button be looking really nice in the morning. I also know that things like TV and video games are looking way more tempting to play than doing your schoolwork. But you don't want any of your learning to fade. You gotta find a balance and set a schedule of when it's time to do your schoolwork and when it's time to sit back and relax. Here's a pro tip guys. Mastering how to balance things will make your life so much easier when you get older. And learning how to balance is something that doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and practice. I mean, I'm your teacher and I still have trouble balancing things. Especially when food is involved. I mean, the Chick-fil-A be calling my name, y'all. But we're in this together, so let's work on it together. You got my back, I got your back. And we'll hold each other accountable. Anyways, in our last video, we talked about word problems. Well, guess what? We're still not done with them. Alright, settle down, hold your horses. Today, we're going to be focusing on a certain type of word problems, and those are comparison word problems. We kind of touched on it in the last video, but in this one, we're going to...
Mr. Johnson! Mr. Johnson!
Here we go again.
Mr. Johnson! Mr. Johnson! So you made us do a whole week of word problems, only for us to do another week of them? Oh, you tripping, Mr. Johnson.
Hey, this week we're focusing on the comparison word problems. It's a bit different from last week.
Nope. My hands tired and my eyes are tired from reading. I'm putting my foot down, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, for real? So it's like that? Look, you gonna do these word problems, alright?
Come on, Mr. Johnson. Well, look, I'm gonna work on these problems just like you need to work on that handwriting. You missed again, Mr. Johnson.
Alright guys, let's get to the video. Go get a pencil and paper, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's make it do what it do. Woo! Comparison word problems are word problems in which two or more characters or objects are being compared in the story. In math, we want to focus on the numbers connected to the characters and take note on how they may be alike or different. When we compare numbers, we are trying to identify the difference in numbers. We want to see if one number is greater than the other, less than the other, or if they are equal to each other. Comparison word problems test your ability to find and understand the differences in values that the characters in the story have. Comparison word problems can usually be spotted when the word than is being used. I mean, think about it. When you compare yourself to someone or something, you use the word than. Like, you're stronger than him. She's nicer than her. He's faster than him. So when we spot the word than in a word problem, we should be aware that we're about to make a comparison. Now, for the most part, we're going to break the comparison word problems into two types. There are comparison problems where you're trying to find a difference or the difference is unknown. And then there are comparison problems in which one of the characters' number is unknown. And this type is called quantity unknown. Comparison problems with the difference being unknown are some of the easier ones. In these word problems, the characters are given values and you gotta find the difference between the two characters. Let's look at an example of a difference unknown comparison problem. Vegeta has 8 Dragon Balls. Beyond... Oh my goodness. Anyways, Beyonce has 3 Dragon Balls. How many more Dragon Balls does Vegeta have than Beyonce? Notice we have the word than being used, which means I'm making a comparison between Vegeta and Beyonce. Also pay attention to the last sentence. How many more Dragon Balls does Vegeta have? This is letting you know that Vegeta has the greater number or the most amount of Dragon Balls. Instead, we need to figure out how much more, or how many extra Dragon Balls does Vegeta have when he compares himself to Beyonce, which would be 5. and I will get that answer by taking Vegeta's number and Beyonce's number and subtracting them to get the difference. Now, the comparison problems that can be tricky are the ones in which a character's number is unknown. These problems are usually hoping that you skim or speed through them, so you want to read them carefully and take your time. They will often use certain words to try to confuse you or throw you off. So let's look at an example of one by comparing two people who are always being compared, Naruto and Sasuke.
ふざけんなってばよなんで俺が引き算になんだよお前にプラス材料などない何
Naruto and Sasuke were eating ramen. Naruto ate 10 bowls of ramen. He ate 7 more bowls of ramen than Sasuke. How many bowls of ramen did Sasuke eat? Once again, notice that the word "den" is being used to make a comparison between Naruto and Sasuke. However, in this problem, did you notice that Sasuke's amount of ramen was never given? Instead, they only told you about Naruto. The problem starts off by telling you Naruto's number of ramen, which is 10. But in the second sentence, they give you more information about his number. The second sentence says, he ate 7 more bowls of ramen than Sasuke. What this means is that within his 10 bowls, he ate an extra 7 bowls when he compares himself to Sasuke. In other words, at some point in time, Naruto and Sasuke ate the same amount of ramen, but then Naruto went and ate more. How much more? 7 more. In order to get the amount Sasuke ate, I would have to subtract Naruto's total of 10 bowls as well as the 7 extra that he has over Sasuke, which would give me the answer of 3. Therefore, Sasuke ate 3 bowls of ramen. And this makes sense within the story. Think about it. At some point, Naruto and Sasuke were equal, but Naruto went and ate 7 more bowls, and 7 and 3 makes 10, which is the total amount of bowls of ramen that Naruto ate. The key to solving problems like this is paying attention to when the story tells you about the character twice. The problem tells you Naruto's total amount, which is 10, and then it tells you about Naruto again when it says he has 7 more than Sasuke. Many students may get tricked on this problem and add 10 and 7 because they see the word more. But 10 and 7 makes 17, and how could Sasuke eat 17 bowls if the story said Naruto ate the most amount? Remember that when you write an answer down to a math problem, the answer must make sense to the question the problem asks you. This is why I always say the most important part of a question is what it asks you at the end. So now that we understand the 2 types of comparison word problems, let's practice them. Remember that to get better at word problems, we have to get used to practicing them and catching the patterns that they go in. So let's think of a real life situation where we can use a comparison problem.
I have finally found you, Mr. Johnson.
Who are you?
You don't know who I am? Well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Darth Johnson, ruler of all operations, master of all mathematicians, and a living nightmare to all math students in the galaxy.
Okay. But, why are you in my house? Uninvited.
Ooh, Mr. Johnson, and he's standing on your carpet with his shoes on.
Yeah, take your shoes off.
Shoes? Shoes? Shoes are going to be the least of your concerns when I am done with you.
Hey, hold up. What do you mean by that?
You see, Mr. Johnson, I have heard of how successful your students are in math, and this is something that cannot happen. Students are supposed to hate math, and you are actually making them enjoy it. Thus, I have traveled across the galaxies to put an end to such foolishness. My sole purpose is to destroy you and your students in all things mathematics. Stop that! Stop laughing!
That's like the lamest story I've heard for a villain.
Yeah, that's pretty lame, man.
Lame? Lame? Well, it won't be lame when I crush you and your students.
And how are you gonna do that?
I haven't thought of that. Let's see. A competition.
Oh, a competition? I like competitions. What type of competition?
Let's see. Let's do a video game.
Wait a second. Did you say video game?
Yes, a video game. Ha! Or are you too afraid to accept my challenge, Mr. Johnson?
Oh no. I accept.
Let's go! What was that just now?
Look, I don't know, man. Are you sure you want to go against me in a video game?
Of course I'm sure, you fool. Do not doubt the power of Dolph Johnson.
So, what game are we playing? Mario Kart, Smash Bros, Guilty Gear?
No, none of those games. We are taking it old school. The game we will be playing is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic?
Yes. We will go through the first level in Sonic, and whoever has the highest score is declared the winner. But be warned, you might as well give up now. I am the ultimate life form, and I'm also a master at all things Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sure, good for you. Who goes first?
Why, you can go first, Mr. Johnson. It'll make my victory all the much sweeter.
Nah, you gonna lose this one.
Yeah, you about to get clapped, boy.
Bring it on. You don't stand a chance. This will be easy. I've been playing this against Sonic the Hedgehog for years. This is nothing to me. Alright, here we go. So the first thing up is a monkey. Here we go. This thing. Oh. Okay. My fingers slipped that time. We'll try it again. Let's see. I get up under him. Hi, there we go. Ha 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 ha. Foolish monkey. Alright, there we go. Watch out. Oh, ouch. Pirate piranhas in this game. Let's see, go up the bouncer thingy, whatever you call it. Power ups or whatever it's called. I'm not a piranha! Where did this piranha come from? Alright, here we go, let's try. Oh! What? This game is cheating! This isn't fair. I'll try that. Foolish enemies. Why does this game have so many enemies? Ouch! Look at me using the speed of Sonic. Yes, Mr. Johnson, you're about to lose. Look how... Okay, as soon as I can get up this thing... Ha! The piranha loses again. Alright, here we go. Make him up this bouncer thing. Oh, there we go. And then we're back to the monkey. Let's try... Ouch! All of my rings just went away like that? I'll take this. Take this, monkey. Oh! What? What? Game over! My fingers have been, cramping lately. Beginner's luck.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say.
Stop being so smug. This isn't over, Johnson. I'll be back.
Okay, so that was interesting. But I think we have our example for our word problem now. So let's solve it. Mr. Johnson and Darth Johnson were playing Sonic the Hedgehog. Mr. Johnson scored 27,100 points. Darth Johnson scored 600 points. How many more points did Mr. Johnson score than Darth Johnson? So in this problem, we see the word than, which means a comparison is happening. In this problem, Mr. Johnson is being compared to Darth Johnson. This is a comparison problem in which the difference is unknown. So in this problem...
I told you I would be back.
So, what do you want this time? You ready to get mollywopped at another game?
There will be no mollywopping. I am here to crush you and your students.
Me and my students?
Yes. Let's see how much they've been learning. Why don't we use the word problem I just created?
You created?
Yeah, you could've stayed where you was at.
Why, yes. This was all part of my plan. Let's see if your students can actually solve this problem. Let's turn it into a multiple choice problem.
You do know you made it a bit easier making it multiple choice, right?
Yeah, you messed up, boy.
Silence, you fools! Enough playing around. The time to crush you and your students is now. Let's see if your students can solve this question.
Alright guys, it's on you. Good luck. Whatever answer you get, comment below and let me know.
Your time is up, Johnson. And now it is time to watch you and your students fall before me. Give me your final answer.
Let's see. The answer would be... C. Oh, nice.
Yeah, in your face, boy, you lose.
What? Impossible! This isn't over, Johnson. You and your meddling student will suffer. I will be sure to defeat you next time, Johnson. Next time!
Well, that about sums up this video. I hope you guys have a better understanding of how to solve comparison word problems. If you're still having trouble with the comparison word problems, comment below, let me know, or message me on Class Dojo. Remember to keep your momentum going and learning how to balance your schoolwork with playtime. I'll see you all in the Zoom lessons this week. So stay safe, guys, wash your hands, and keep those math skills sharp. Now, I need to go figure out how that Darth guy keeps getting in my house. Yeah. Until next time, guys.